Hello everybody, and welcome to Day Job. I am your host, Code Marvelous, and today we are going to be playing a new deck that I got off of Netrunner DB that won a very competitive store championship in England, and it's one of my favorite identities. It's Asmari, so we're going to see what we can do with it. And I gotta move my face around so people can actually see the chat. So hopefully we'll get an opponent in a minute here. Let's reset the clocks. Alright, we're up against Omar, so we have to assume that we are against some sort of apocalypse style build. Let's fire it up. Told her stop. So let's put let's just armor up. And we'll say event to start. So we get the Asmari hit off of the Sure Gamble. Second agenda being drawn is not ideal. And we're going to say event again. Alright, I don't know what they're going for with this Chibana. Okay, so that's an incubator. Alright, you can't. A third agenda being drawn. Not ideal in a 6 agenda deck. Okay, we gotta try to push an agenda here, I think. We'll say program. I mean, if we can get him to steal 6, we can kill him now very easily. go ahead and purge. And we'll put a degree mill in there. I don't know what to pick against this build. I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I don't think they're going for an Apocalypse build. I don't think you install a 5-cost console if you're apocalypsing. Okay. Look at all this ice destruction, huh? It's pretty neat. No, Boulder, stop. So it's gonna be like, it's a Trapano Hive Mind deal. So I wonder if they'll take the degree mill. Right, because Amakua counts as having 4 counters on it because they are using Hive Mind. That would be really radical, is as if we could draw into a second punitive counterstrike. Or they could steal another agenda here. That would also be good. We're basically going to get 1 draw above the first. And if... yeah. Alright. So, I think we just finished this one out. Now we gotta purge pretty soon. This didn't get put on a progenitor, which is very good for us. probably have a ton of programs, right? That could be a call for standard procedure. Alright. We're going to gain the money from SSL. Let's put new ice on archives. And then let's standard procedure for programs. Okay? Come on, punitive Counter-Strike. Like, they are living so dangerously, they don't have enough money to fight us. Okay, so let's go ahead and purge. We will ditch. We're up against ice destruction, so we'll ditch the hedge fund. We're gonna name a resource for that liberated that we saw earlier. Now they're gonna have a bear of a time trying to collect counters, which is exactly what we want. Hey, Sports Riot, what's up? I think next turn we're gonna put the IP block in the remote and the degree mill, and then next turn we'll advance it twice. Server 1, and we'll put the other IP block on archives to deal with Omar's ability. We need to be prepared to do the kill on the second steal. Bagat. That's exciting. I think all things being equal, next turn what we're going to do is we're going to advance degree mill twice, and then we're going to preemptive. Okay, so we are go for launch. So we're going to advance, and then we're going to preemptive. And we're going to get back the 2 pieces of ice that we lost, plus a standard procedure. And we're going to say program again. I have not. This is somebody else's deck. It's in the show notes. I usually try to play at least the first couple games as is. But yeah, one of Salem's Hospitality can be good, especially against Anarch, because if you do have 2 punitive and the Salems in your hand, you can use the Salems for, and say, I've had worse, get the I've had worse out of the hands, and then hit with the punitive, right? Yeah, it's a great one of in the style of decks. So the good news is we're just gonna start jamming for the win, right? Like next turn we're just gonna jam this SSL because they're not threatening us at all. And if they contest that agenda, they lose, so. You haven't seen them play an I've Had Worse yet, but they've got a lot of tools. They might not have them. And this server's already unbreakable by the current tableau of programs that our opponent has, because the IP block will stick a tag to them. Yeah, so we're just gonna jam. Jam Slam. And as Mari EdTech, baby. Baby. Yeah. Waver is definitely a spicy boy. Alright, so we're just gonna push, and then we're gonna say program, right? Because if our opponent doesn't get this, we just win, right? Fear of the punitive will keep the provinces in line. The other day, I had a slot machine fire for all 3 subroutines, and I got to put the last 3 advancements on a global food. Unfortunately, it was off. It was off camera. IP block, such a great piece of ice. So good. 1 billion tags for our opponent. Hey, Retsuko. That is gonna be a good game, my friend. Alright. Probably gonna get Impt here. And then we're gonna win on this advancement. Good game. Thank you for the game. So let's talk about the list for a minute here. What do we think? I mean, I think this is pretty sharp, right? This is a very strong deck. Has been for a long time. I don't know if there's necessarily anything that the new cards can do to help this deck very much, but let's talk about it for a minute. What do we think? Because I'm really thinking, the only thing that I can really think of that could make an impact on this deck is having You Died as a way of trying to get them to spend their money, but that bad pub feels very bad. I mean, we could cut a single standard procedure for a Slums Hospitality, right? Or we could keep the standard procedure and cut a vanilla. The card is strong as hell, but what are we going to cut for it, right? whole idea is a standard procedure is supposed to be from 0 econ that helps us land the helps us land the kill. Right? Rashida helps us accelerate forward. NGO front helps us bait runs to eat up their money. The only thing that we could conceivably cut is if we didn't do the Salams and we went down to 2 Rashida, we could get 2 daily quests. We can try that. Let's do that. My terrible needy son. Ooh, we're up against Jasminder. So I don't know how I feel about this opening hand. But I think we'll keep it. Alright, let's fire it up. So let's put that on HQ. And we'll get a credit. We're gonna ditch the SSL, and we're gonna name event. We're just gonna act like everything's completely normal and start building a remote as per normal. Right, Boulder. Ooh, net chip. Okay. This is gonna be a Kushuk deck. Let's draw. Let's put that in a new remote. Let's put a daily quest in there. I was hoping they wouldn't run it. Because this ice doesn't actually do very much to them. Yep, so they're just gonna run it 4 times. Need to get another ice. I'd like to draw into another surveyor. Or really any ice at this juncture would be fine. Yeah, this is 1000% a Kushuk deck. We're already ready to kill. We just need the money to do so. I want to get this IP block onto R&D just to buff up the Surveyor a little bit. I'm also kind of hoping very shortly they're going to just actually check archives so we can just win. What do we think the call is on standard procedure? Hardware? We got to be ready to push. Code siphon, baby. So they're gonna have to... So now they're gonna actually have to go get programs and do stuff. Otherwise, this is gonna be a very expensive code siphon for them. So we're going to be eating up a number of dollars here. Which honestly I'm just thrilled about. And they're going to forsake their... Perfect. Alright, so program is probably the call. We're going to get this Chrysium on R&D. We're dripping away and waiting for an agenda. And we're starting to run away money-wise in comparison to them. So I don't think our opponent's going to pay for that. So these surveyors have started doing their good work. Daily quest. You're my friend. What a fantastic card. Probably the best Corp card out of the set. Let's draw. Let's put that on R&D. We got our friend. We're ready when the time comes. Okay, you're legally required to call it Frozen Yogurt. Yeah, we got a reader. Actually, let me go ahead while they're reading. Let me go ahead and dog, dog, dog. Dog. Baldy, you gotta... So they're gonna pay the full 5 to avoid having that car fire, which feels just, you know, just great. Just great. So let's let them in. I haven't seen Patron in a while. I'm kind of really excited that they're utilizing it. There we go. So now everybody watching can see Waiver, a card that they've probably not seen in a very long time. We are chewing up their resources quite nicely, which I'm a big fan of. Let's advance that once. That way we can still do the IPO, since that's actually a better one-click economic exchange. I hope they just run archives. Wouldn't that be something? So we can murder them. I know you wanna play events. You got 3 same old things. Alright. Let's say hardware. See, this is where we're at now, though. Now we can't pressure them. Eventually, you're gonna have to try to steal agendas, my friend. Focus group. Potentially, but that's not really what this deck's trying to do, right? I think that is a different deck that we 100% could build. But I think that's a very different deck, and that's probably in Harishchandra? Yeah, focus group is this one. It's the, if you know what's in the runner's grip, you can do like a weird fast advance thing. So here's the rub. I really want us to draw into an agenda soon so that we can actually kill. We haven't seen... Oh, I know we have seen it restricted. It's Levy. So we know that they're not on Film Critic. So we just need to be able to push. So I'm probably going to overwrite the daily quest with the Rashida next turn if we don't draw an agenda. Yeah, so we're overwriting. And we're going to just click for buckos and we're going to say program. Because eventually you're going to need to break stuff. Or maybe not. We'll see. But the last thing we want is to get to the end of the deck and all the agendas to be piled up in a row, where just a couple of consecutive runs with big money our opponent can yeah, I mean, we just need them to steal an agenda and then they're dead. Right? Look at all these Persephones coming into play, huh? We're gonna get milled out. Just like that, we lose in a single run. Yeah, if we had drawn into an agenda. What a wild game that was. Good game. They earned that with their wild jank. But you know, this is what can happen sometimes, right? With the 6-point, the low agenda density decks, is sometimes you end up just not seeing agendas when you need them, and then shit like this happens. Ratsuka coming in hot. Give me the old GLHF. All right. So we're up against Ratsuka. Let's see what... give me 1 second. All right, let's draw. Let's draw again. Haven't had that happen in a while. So let's trash this rogue trading. Let's trash this rogue trading and get a credit. Getting 2 out of the 3 rogue tradings in the deck is probably going to slow him down a little bit. Now, we did chew up quite a bit of our cash doing that, but the hope is that we've significantly impacted his economy to the point that we're going to be able to significantly slow him down. Right? Because the idea is otherwise, with him being on 419, we'd never be able to punitive him because he'd be so rich for the entire game that we'd never be able to kind of pull him down from the stratosphere to be able to land a punitive. He's got one of these left, which still has 18 credits on it. But a lot of the econ of his deck is now gone. So we can try to click compress and get a kill that way. So let's put the waiver on there. We will pay. What I'd like is next turn, if we could draw an IPO so that we can advance twice and then IPO. That would be ideal. We don't quite get there, so we gotta try to make it happen. I'm hoping that they'll play a falsified here to see if this is an NGO. Even though that'll give them some money, it'll give us some money too. We need to draw into something like a hedge fund to be able to land the kill, I think. I think Ratsuka's probably thinking about not taking it just in case we have... Oh no. Actually, I think we can... So they're showing effectively 6 link. Okay. So I don't think we can land both, right? We can't land both. Right, because of the fucking Citadel. So let's see if we can eat up some cash, at least. Or eat up some cards. Dan is very bad at this game. Citadel Sanctuary is a huge problem for us, huh? Morning, Janktivist. Also, if you've never actually looked at the art on Echo Chamber, that shit is horrifying. So our mission, since we did get the early 2 rogue tradings trashed off of that errant tag, and we got rid of Miss Bones, which doesn't help them terribly in this matchup, is we've got to try to wear him out of money. Hey, Jankfist, thank you for the subscription. Alright, so what do we think is in their hand? Hardware, programs, more resources. Let's say resource. Nice. So just like that, we're out of money hell. I do not think that we can kill him. So I don't know how we're gonna win this game. Like this Citadel Sanctuary poses a huge problem for us. going to say event. So this is a code gate that gains 4 subroutine. So, pretty neat. I think basically now we are really relying on Waver, because we're going to need Waver to fire to wipe out their hand. And then we'll need 2 Punitive to win. We're just getting slowly whittled away on money, which I'm not a big fan of. How are we gonna get out of this one, kids? I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna get out of this one. Yeah, Peeping Tom is a code gate. I don't think, I mean, I can try. I'd have to draw another NGO to be able to do that. So we got an 8 hit on standard procedure, which feels pretty good. Yeah, there is a preemptive in the deck. Yeah, I think reversed accounts would be a good include. So they used Hippo to get rid of that Peeping Tom, which is truly unfortunate. Because that shit's good. Alright, so we're now threatening the win. We're gonna get doofed into the bin. We're gonna pay. And we're gonna advance. We're gonna say, we have the win, come get it. We're gonna lose waiver here. We're gonna say action before access. We're gonna res it and take the money. This game has been a lot tighter than I thought. I thought for sure that we were going to end up being cooked. Now, hopefully they won't hit the SSL here. Okay. So let's put Afshar. Let's put Afshar on HQ. Let's put Surveyor on server 2. And let's put SSL in there. We're working very hard over here, but I think we can do it. Especially with this SSL ticking down. I should have named resource. Okay. We gotta try to push for the win here. And say, hey, maybe it's an NGO. Who knows? Could be anything. Could be anything. Doesn't necessarily have to be an agenda. We're working very hard right now. Okay, so we need to draw into a punitive, or we're gonna lose probably. Okay, oh man. Working very hard. Because now we can try to use those traces to keep him out. Buffing up those traces is probably going to be what does it, because then we don't have to spend as much cash to boost them. And Buchhalter is not going to cover that with the amount of money that he has remaining. And we can go down to 0 credits because we're going to get our SSL money next turn. Yeah, we're not resing shit on Centrals. Come on in, the water's fine. We just have to hope that they don't hit here. If they do, we lose. But I think we played the correct way. Okay, we won it. Very good game. Yeah, thanks for the great game, Ratsuka. Yeah, Derek, we probably could have kept him out on the previous run. I just didn't even think about it. Okay, that person's not launching. I like this one. We'll keep it. We've got good money to kick us off. We've got ice. We've got an agenda to push with. I like it. Alright, so let's hedge. And let's put the IP block on HQ and the Surveyor, which is later going to have more ice to support it, on R&D. Professional contacts. Nice. Nice. Okay. So let's draw. Hedge fund, IPO. Where you've just gotta, we gotta get ready and we gotta push. Because they're just going to Pro-Co into all their tools, right? Yeah, they're doing all this nonsense. Draw. Draw. IPO. I mean, if they keep going super slow, draw, put that out, put the SSL in there. We gotta just push. Gauntlet, that's exciting. Alright, we fished what we wished. I've got a surveyor. So, let's see if me and the captain can make it happen. One, two, three. Score. IPO is probably our worst card because we're just gonna keep jamming. You can't link stuff in my chat because of protection rules for people dropping like very inappropriate links in chats and stuff, right? Ratsuka, if you send me the link on Slack, I'll copy and paste it into the chat, okay? Oh. Thanks for giving me a punitive. What a good friend you are. Alright. So now, we're going to put Peeping Tom on R&D. We're going to put Afshar on HQ. And then we're going to put the degree mill right into the remote. And we're just going to keep going and say, keep up with us if you can, right? So we're going to advance this. We're going to advance this. We're going to put a Jua in front, which is largely just to make Surveyor super jacked. And we're just going to keep pushing. Because the thing is they're utilizing Kushuk. And Kushuk is a I steal one agenda at a time type of card, right? So that's very bad versus a punitive deck. Yeah, we're gonna just ravage them with the Surveyor. They can only break one subroutine. Will they continue on? No. So we got all their money and they didn't get an agenda. So let's push. We score the degree mill. We are now threatening the win. And next turn, we're gonna install Advance, the SSL. Actually, we don't even have to do that. We can just kick it old school and do the Echo Chamber. One of the biggest things with punitive decks is that you have to remember that it's always punitive or primarily the threat of punitive gives you scoring windows that you don't normally deserve. Right? Situations where people know that they could get into the server, but they know... Well, actually, Ratsuka, if you could send a deck link, because I'm not going to copy and paste the JNet, all of the cards into chat. If you could just... If you have a Netrunner DB link, that would be greatly preferred. Good game. All right. That feels pretty good. Well, I think they were doing a kind of I'm getting money back all the time kind of deal. I'm surprised that they weren't on Super Corridor over Gauntlet. Because when you're playing the new style of like Drip Plan, Super Corridor is very good. But they are clearly doing something completely different. So I really like this hand. So we're going to keep it. We just got to make sure we armor up before we lose Punitive Counterstrike. What if they stole 6 points of agendas on turn 1 and we just blew them the fuck up? Alright, let's draw. Let's put that on HQ. Afshar is very good on HQ, and we're going to put Slot Machine on R&D. It's one of the... I have a huge folder of, like, Cyberpunk wallpapers that I've been collecting since I was like 18. Alright, let's start building out a remote. Let us put Degree Mill in there and Hedge Fund. This background always makes me think of Surveyor because there's these drones flying around overseeing the city. Alright, so they're going to start building up tokens. So I'm going to say that they probably have programs in their hand. Let's advance. Advance. Name event. So I'm pretty sure this is going to fire. Now we do have to be careful here, because they can get rid of our key events here, and we're not a deck that's playing archived, so that could be a very serious concern for us. Now the neat thing is we did not see we didn't see any iPad worse, I think. Yeah, we didn't see any. I'm almost certain. So we're just going to continue along with our lives. And we're going to score out. And then what we're going to do is next turn, we're going to put the SSL and the Peeping Tom into that remote. Because Peeping Tom has the potential to get a large number of... has the potential to get a large number of subroutines against them. Okay, so if they don't run with that ant, well, even if they do, we're going to be purging. Roll them bones. You lose 3. I gain 3. You're going to imp something. And then I'm going to purge you. Or do we just keep the tempo? Yeah, I guess we're just gonna keep the tempo and threaten the score. We're so far ahead on money, right? Nah. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. And we'll put this out to see if we can bait a click with it. There's the Yusuf, which isn't actually gonna help them very much against what we currently have down, what we're leaning on, right? Just letting slot machine fire over and over again is not what I would consider an ideal strategy. I might have to pop the Rashida. Here's the deck list that Ratsuka was playing. Oh my god, we got the triple fire. Runner loses 3. We gain 3. Place 3 advancement tokens. We're gonna get to free score in SSL. Unbelievable. Incredible. What a time to be alive. That significantly improves our tempo, because now we're going to get to armor up off of this, and additionally also still score the SSL. We're not threatening a code gate breaker. So I think we're going to put Echo Chamber in server 1. We're going to put this on R&D. And we're going to IPO. And that's probably going to be all they wrote, because this is a code gate that's going to get end the run subroutines. Now they could always just take the tags and go through, but that's not ideal for them. Alright, so Stamherk coming in. We're going to name a card, and we're going to say event. So it gains 7 subroutines. 7 subroutines. So they're going to have to click that shit 4 times to get through. They jacked out. That's game. This deck is awesome. Get Peeping Tom into the card pool as well. Okay, so our opponent decided to leave. Let me just program in this button real quick. See if it works. Perfect. So that's the ice that just won us the game. 7 subroutines on a Peeping Tom because of how many events that they were playing. Mwah. Uh-oh, let's go beat up Patrick. Sure, we'll keep this. Good luck, have fun. We're going to save the waiver for the remote. In the meantime, we're going to put Afshar on HQ. We're going to put IP block on R&D. And then we're just going to get a credit, and we're going to name program. I have a weird feeling that he's going to install some number of programs. Wow. Okay, so let's go ahead and advance, and res that. And then we're going to say program. Because we got to build up for the waiver trace. The waiver trace is what's going to give us the game against Shapers. Put out waiver. Let's put out Peeping Tom in the same server and get some money. Program, I think, is always going to be the correct call for this deck. I feel like the Asmari ability is especially good if you have a good understanding of what kind of cards people like to play, right? Let's put the Eula on there, but we're not going to use it necessarily because they might be on Lamb. Yeah, if you have a good amount of meta knowledge, draw. Put that on server 2. IPO. I think next turn, now that we actually have a hard in the run on that server, we're gonna try to push. Yeah, it makes your calls better, right? If you see that somebody only has resource-based economy in their hands, you know that the call is an event, it's resource. Yeah. Legwork. Okay, so we're gonna force you to go get something. So that's a chunky boy. So very little in the way of money. The ideal here would be that we would draw into Consulting Visit or another. So here's the deal. If this draw is a punitive, we win. It's not. We don't have to worry about I've had worse, so I might do a value punitive here, just to see if we can kill some stuff. And then we're gonna just put SSL into the remote. We did kill off a Kashuk, which is very good. So we're going to advance. Advance while the getting's good. We're going to put a slot machine on HQ. That other surveyor is going to be for R&D. The PU hit a Kashuk, a daily cast, and a cache. So we got rid of one of probably 3 of their big multi-access, which is pretty good. And I think they have to just, like, let us have this SSL. I don't think that there is any universe in which they can contest this. So there's Reaver. We get our money. Oh, no, we didn't, because I didn't call the correct thing. Oh, well. It's not the worst. 1, 2, 3. We're going to score. We'll say event. Now, a clone chip is already in the bin, and there's already an SMC in the bin. So, I think next turn our play is put Surveyor on R&D to shore that up. Now, with the MU that they're currently showing, they could also be on Lamb. If they are, Eula's very bad. But if they're not, if they're on, like, Corroder, because I think it's either, I think 2 is the call, so I think they're probably on Corroder. Right, I think they're probably on Kashuk 2, yep, so Corroder, which means Endless Eula is actually still very good. So we'll res. We'll res. Okay. Show me a dead runner. Good game. We're doing pretty good today. We are 5-1. That ain't bad. It's not bad at all. The real MVP. You the real MVP, Peeping Tom. Crushing it for us. No, no hunting grounds. Boo. Boo. Alright, let's see if we can get one more game in. Hope everybody's enjoying. There's been a recent resurgence in people supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. You can do that by subscribing on Twitch if you have Amazon Prime. That can be free, or you can just do it with normal cash. Also, I can't mention the name of the website because of Twitch's rules, but I've also restarted my website that I had before for support. The link is in the show notes on YouTube. I can't tell you what hotel I'm staying at, but there are 2 trees involved. No. Yeah. So check that out. A lot of people have come out to support, you know, the card pull, new camera for the HD. I've upgraded with photography lights instead of just normal halogen lights in the lighting kit. Bunch of things. And also I got a Photoshop license, so I can also actually create things that look really cool, like all the overlays that I've been making for the different screens. So everybody, none of that would be possible without your help, so I really appreciate it. Lori is going to come in and try to fight us. Alright, we'll keep this because we have the accelerant in the form of Rashida. We're definitely going to be wanting to get Toll Booth on R&D. Artist going down early. Lori's probably on the Latchwork deck, which is Patchwork with the Artist, so you can get the huge discounts on a lot of different cards. And then he's not showing any money, so let's just get the Rashida out there rather than trashing a card. Now, he might not run it because he might be worried about getting double punitive, right? Yeah, he's going to piece in our time because he's worried about getting double punitive. No, they don't. I don't do anything related to streaming for a living. Everything that I've gotten is purely to improve the quality of my Netrunner streams. Alright, let's get a Jendi in there. Yeah, let's go. Let's go for the bolt. No, because he just won't steal the second one. We're gonna have to ditch something. Let's put that in a new remote. And then we're gonna have to ditch a standard procedure, as much as it pains me to do so. Yeah, no, I don't use the cameras for anything else. It's just purely for the tournament streams and for the day job streams. Yeah, definitely on latch work. I'm not really pleased with how many agendas we have in hand. Now we're gonna ditch an SSL here. We gotta split them up, especially with the HQ interface in play. I want to get the Eula on R&D. So here's the first Kushuk being played. The real talk, he is not likely to hit anything because we've already seen 4 agendas and there's 29 cards left in the deck. Yeah, he doesn't hit. I guess the other thing is we could put the Eula doesn't tax anything except counters. So I'm hesitant to put it on the remote. But if we put it on R&D, it'll force the levy and the install of the multiple Cerberuses. I agree. Rashida is very important. Alright, so I think we're going to put this guy, Surveyor, on server 2. So it'll be strength 4, and this thing will be strength 3. We're going to put the SSL on there. And we're going to advance and res this guy. And we're going to say event again. We haven't used these daily quests, so I don't think daily quests fit for this deck. We used it in the one game. But I think daily quest is for rewarding something that we don't actually want to do, which is we want to be jamming agendas. Gain 8. We have double punitive, so now we can just sit back, relax, and enter into Murder Town. Attitude Adjustment is the card you're thinking of. Oh, no, that functionality is currently broken. Not broken. I closed the little counter program, and I don't want to take the time to reset it up midstream, because I don't think that is a good use of everybody's time. So we're just tracking it mentally right now. I think this is going to be murder, right? I think they're just dead. And if they check archives and get the second one, then they are super dead. Now, they could potentially win here if they run HQ and they run archives. It doesn't look like he's going to do that. He is assuming that we are the SSL... Oh, yeah. That's... Rest in peace. So we need to make it 12. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to make it 13. Good game. Well played. Thanks for the game, my friend. Here, I could just show you Waiver. So the idea is if they're not prepared for it, and you have, you know, enough money to still be able to fire the punitive, this can actually make it so that you don't have to fire more than one punitive. Because what you can do is if you can do the math and you can beat them on this trace and they just don't pay anything, it just wipes out their entire hand. So then, if they're left with nothing in hand, then you only have to land one punitive to win the game because they have no cards left. It gets around I've Had Worse, and other cards like that that might protect them because they have nothing, right? And notably, they can't even use Citadel because you can't use a card if the card doesn't change the board state, and you have to have at least one card to pitch to be able to use Citadel to protect yourself. If you can't change the board state, you can't trigger a cost. If you don't have a hand to trash, you're not paying the cost, right? That's how I understand it. If not, it would still trim the hand size down so that the Citadel would only protect them from... So it would make it so Citadel makes it so that you need 2 instead of 3 to kill them. Yeah, and also a lot of the really good runner cards aren't terribly expensive right now. So Waiver can hit a lot of very good cards right now. But yeah. Well, we can always double check. But yeah, everybody, thank you for taking time out of your day to come hang out and watch me play some Netrunner. I always love spending some time with everybody, experimenting and trying out various people's decks. The link to this deck, which is not mine, is in the show notes below. There's also the support link for the channel, so check it out. And until I see all of you wonderful Netrunner humans again, always be running.